Finally, Rob, the cricket. As Hashim Amla calling this whole series in Bangladesh bizarre. It certainly was. Obviously, rain was a huge issue for at least in the Test series. But yeah, losing the one-day series, winning the T20s. What can we take from this tour to Bangladesh?
Not a whole heap. Sadly, from a Test point of view, again, I think purists will be very irate, really. That Test matches, by their very essence, require a lot of time. You've got to be able to bowl, have a realistic chance of bowling 450 overs. And when we knew that this scheduling was going to be smack in the middle of the monsoon season in one of the wettest countries on the planet, it looked like a bit of a daft idea, really. And in fact, does bring into focus again the real commitment in world cricket to Test cricket. You sort of think, it really does get pushed to the margins. And a lot of people will be quite bitter that they managed to get the older sort of money-spinning one-day part of the tour out of the way, and then absolute havoc wreaked with the Test series. So not ideal from that point of view. We lost, I think it's 5 rankings points, Garen, that we are now down by getting a 0-0 result rather than beating Bangladesh in their own turf. It's not the end of the world because we're still reasonably comfortably placed at the top of the ladder. It was an away series after all, even though it was Bangladesh. But the sad thing is we didn't learn a whole heap. Yes, we did complete the T20 portion. That's a little bit relevant because the next major ICC one-day tournament is a World T20 in the second half of next season. So by winning that portion, a bit of a feather in the cap there. And at the end of the day, the one-dayers, so soon after the last 50 overs World Cup, don't mean a whole heap at this stage. We did rest a few key players, so nothing sort of too major there. The drama, I think, is that we didn't learn enough about some of the new players in our Test team. We're still waiting, through no fault of their own, because they were inactive they sat with their heels up for 6 days out of the 10 in the series. And for instance, you didn't get a chance to see somebody like Simon Harmer bowling at a really advanced stage of a Test match on the subcontinent, where the pitch is breaking up. There's footholds and cracks have widened, and you would have had a chance to see whether he can become a really sort of a match-winning spinner in a second innings scenario on a crumbling track. Now we're going to have to wait until India to sort of see whether he's got what it takes. Whereas before we might have had some better clues as to say, well, yeah, we do think he's got what it takes. So the training wheels are still on going to India, which is not ideal, playing them in their own turf. Similarly, people like Stiaan van Zyl, we're still waiting to check whether he really is suited to the top of the order. We did see some glimpses of him looking like perhaps he is the real deal as an opening batsman, as Dean Elgar's partner going forward. So that's something. And AB de Villiers will come back into the mix, which is also beneficial. Dane Villas, poor fellow, he makes his Test debut in this second Test and ends up, apparently they played table tennis in their hotel for most of the Test match. So we're waiting to see whether he really cuts it as a Test player. I hope he gets another crack. I think Quinton de Kock needs to go back and reassess his batting technique and so on. We know he's a huge talent, including behind the stumps. So we didn't really get a proper chance to look at Villas, but as I think the chance will come again against India, who are our next opponents away from home. So unfortunately we weren't able to tick too many boxes on this tour. It was all a very frustrating experience for South African fans.
But I suppose, of course, the bigger picture being the England series at home at the end of the year, and they obviously are putting up a good fight against the Aussies in the Ashes.
Yeah, well, I suppose a lot of South African cricket personnel have had plenty of time to watch the Ashes in the last while our team was supposedly out on the field and weren't. So we'll be under no illusions about the possible quality that England will bring. They're also very much a team in transition, but we are seeing some decent young players coming to the fore. A little bit of a sort of a new spirit taking root in the England camp, and they're looking dangerous. I mean, a 2-1 up against Australia with 2 tests to go. Suddenly, going to Trent Bridge this week, if England are to win there, it's series over, which would be a big turn up for the books, because I think even a lot of English observers were quietly thinking that Australia would be up for retaining the Ashes in this series. So a massive Test match coming up on Thursday at Trent Bridge.